First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming on our website, on our apps, on Facebook, on YouTube, so lots of places to find us. I definitely recommend downloading that Fox 12 Oregon app. But we get to cover a lot of different topics here, and right now we're talking about something that is returning this week. I'm talking about the Northwest Black Comedy Festival, and to talk all about it, joining us right now, we have the two co-founders, Courtenay and Tyrone. And both of you, thank you very much, for joining us here today. Really, really appreciate it. I'm excited to talk about this, and I think, to start off, something I always like to do when it comes to a festival. I know how much work these are. It's a ton of work to put on a festival, let alone how long you've been doing it. And so I think, just maybe explaining to everybody what inspired you to start this to begin with, and how that process went back when you first launched this.
Awesome. Thank you, Greg.
Yeah, thank you. The goal behind it was to spotlight some of the local Black talent and just Black talent from all over the world. And what inspired me was for a while they had a festival here at Bridgetown, Comedy Festival. And it was a real big festival, but I was noticing I wasn't seeing a lot of local Black comedians in the festival. So I thought it would be great to put together something that spotlighted our talent as Black comedians in Portland and beyond, and make it happen. And in the first one, we didn't even have submissions. I just called every comedian I knew and was like, "Hey, I'm doing a festival. Right. Could you come and be a part of it?" And it's grown to this 8 years later.
Wow, 8 years, and going from that, I think let's talk about that scene just for a minute, because we cover a lot of the Portland comedy scene just because it is a fairly robust scene that we have here.
Yes,
right.
But there's room for so many different comedians, genres, all of that. So when you talk about the Black comedy scene in Portland, can you talk about that a little bit more, just to give people some context and some explanation of what it is here?
I think people don't realize there is a Black comedy scene here in Portland. And like most of the time when people go out to comedy clubs, they're waiting for the Michael Epps or the Ali Sadiqs or the D.L. Hughley's to come to town. But they don't have to wait for that, because we have a thriving Black comedy scene right here in Portland. But most people won't hear about it because it's not at the bigger venues, the Hyjinx and the other big venues out there. So you miss out on a lot of it, but it is here, it is living, and it is thriving right here in Portland.
Yeah, and I would say our scene mirrors, the larger scene, and unfortunately, that means that sometimes Black art and talent takes a backseat to mainstream.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and
that definitely plays a part.
That plays a role in it. And I think, something like this, getting this scene together, you mentioned, it's just to bring all of these comedians together from around here and from the Northwest and from around the world as well. And so for this festival, tell us about it. What does it mean for you to be able to put this on and have this kind of a showcase?
It means a lot.
Yeah. For us to be able to just communicate to the world that Black culture is not a monolith, and to show the diversity in our own culture. We have people from everywhere, every hood in the United States. We even have a comic from Nova Scotia coming.
Nova Scotia.
And, folk from Haiti, Caribbean folks, biracial Black folks. So we really have a spectrum of that experience. And over 4 days, you really get to see that diversity and beauty in the Black culture and community.
I think that's awesome. Just what you mentioned right there. So many different diverse. I really want to hear what Nova Scotian comedy is.
She's hilarious. I can't wait for you guys to hear her either. We were shocked. You're like, oh, she's coming.
That's awesome. So for that, let's give everybody an idea here for somebody who wants to come out and see this and support. You mentioned there's all the different genres, but what's the experience like for somebody to walk in to one of the venues? And we'll discuss where it all is, but what's that experience like to walk into one of the venues and experience a comedy festival?
Well, it's going to be like walking into a family reunion.
Yeah, that is
It's going
the
to be
energy.
music playing. It's going to be people mingling and having fun, meeting one another, some for 5 or 6 times, but some for the first time. And the vibe is just going to be, respect and all the way
Welcoming,
through.
supportive,
Yes.
good food, good drinks, good company, just really a party. Like he said, a family reunion vibe over 4 days, your block party, you know, in the historical Alberta Arts neighborhood. Just wanting to bring that, especially I'm from Portland, born and raised. So that kind of 90s Black community feel, but like I said, very welcoming, and just want to show you what we have to offer.
And set here too in 2 really great venues too in Portland. I know. I think you're at the Alberta Abbey and then Curious Coffee.
Not this year. This year we're just at Curious. Yeah, that's okay. Just at Curious. Yeah, we're gonna hold it all right there. It just, for us, it works better. We have 4 days, 11 showcases. There's a lot of logistics, and while we do a wonderful job, there really is him and I. This year we have been able to have a great community team and have a social media and a community coordinator this year, which was a blessing. But you know, this is a family business putting on this large historical event.
Yes.
Wait a minute, just to get this straight, you're doing 4 days and 11 showcases and all that, and you two are running all that yourself? That's a crazy amount of work.
Yes, great team as volunteers. Like I said, we have 2 people that we brought on for the team, but that's really, it's us. It's a labor of love. We love doing it, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah. But I mean, clearly it's been paying off 8 years.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And it gets bigger and better every time. Every time. We went from 2 days to 4 days. We had 6 showcases the first year. Now we have 11. We went from, like he said, recruiting comics to having, open submissions for 2 months and over 100 people applying, and we having to whittle down that to 50 or 60. So it's a lot of work. It takes about 6 months of the year each time.
Well, and I would think too, just having that, going what you mentioned there, from having to call up your friends, come down to having 100 submissions. I mean, whittling that down, that's going to be a difficult process too, because I'm sure everybody in their own right has something to contribute, but there's only so much time.
Exactly. And space and right. Right. We'll have people there to 3 a.m. So
what's something important that you want the community as a whole in Portland, the Northwest in general, to know about the festival and the Black comedy scene?
That's good for you.
I want them to know that it's here. It's thriving.
And that we are here. You might have to dig a little bit to find us, but we are around. And it might not be at the big fancy venues that you're used to.
Right.
But it's comfortable. Like I said, we're supportive. It's community-based. And in this day and age, I know a lot of people shy away from social justice and they don't want that in their comedy, or they want folks to be able to say what they want to say.
Right.
But I go back to the fact that I have a lot of community and a lot of friends that frown at comedy and don't want to come out to shows because they believe they'll be the butt of the jokes. And we promise that is not going to be anyone's experience. So there's no punching down. We want everyone to have a great time. That is the purpose of this, to have fun, celebrate Black joy during Black History Month, and allow folks in the culture.
Fantastic. And a great venue. I think, Courtenay, one more thing for you. I was just thinking about this. You mentioned that you're Portland local.
Yes.
So for you, looking at it now from you growing up into the scene and all of that, how have you seen things change over that time frame?
For me growing up, to me, I feel like it was more segregated. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, I think there was more of a presence and more of a community back then. Now we're more spread out as a community. We don't have designated venues or places to go like we used to. So it's a little bit tougher that way. But I also see that there's more opportunity to jump into the scene and kind of do whatever you want to do. There's a lot of freedom as well. So, it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. A little bit of both in there. Well, for anything else that you want to let people know, And obviously, at minimum, we want to let them know where to get tickets, you know, and all of that
Yes.
stuff, and just reiterate all that. But anything else to tell everyone?
Yeah, and just highlight a few of the performers.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a lot of people coming out. We have some of our returning comics coming out, like Curtis Cook.
Yes.
We have Niles Abson that's coming back out.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Debbie Wooten, a local, one of the local legends here, is going to be there.
Jamal Coleman,
Coleman,
KJ Whitehead,
Ken Hamlet, Curtis Taylor III. Just
amazing.
So many great comedians are going to be here in town. Every showcase is going to be great. For ticket information, go check out our website at nwblackcomedyfest.com, and it'll have all the showcases, all the ticket information, or go to curiouscomedy.org and they'll have all the ticket and show information there. But you don't want to miss this. It's going to be a wonderful event.
You can Google it. You can follow us on social media. Dirty Angel Entertainment is the name of our company. And that embraces duality and freedom in all things. You don't have to be put in a box. That is what Dirty Angel means.
Yes.
And yeah, follow us and keep up with everything we do beyond the festival all year round.
Check out our radio show and everything else that we do around.
Well, real quick, what's the radio show?
We do Soulful Saturdays on Portland Radio Project 99.1 FM. Also one of our partners of the festival this year. Shout out Portland Radio Project. But we're there every Saturday from 1 to 3, playing your favorite hip hop, old school hip hop and R&B. Tune in and let us be the soundtrack to your Saturday.
Good old school vibe.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, both of you, thank you very much, for joining me here today and for what you're doing, and congratulations on, an 8th year of this festival and all that work. But I mean, it's obviously paying off, as we mentioned before, and so everybody can go check that out. And Courtenay and Tyrone, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you. Hey, Greg, we'll see you at the festival, right? I'll save you a table. I
All
got
right.
a table for you.
All right.
Come on down.
All right. Don't tempt me. All right. Thank you both.
Thank you.
And for everybody watching too, thank you very much for joining us again. This is Fox 12 Now. So we live stream here from the Fox 12 Oregon News headquarters. We get to cover a lot of topics, and we get to have conversations and really go in depth on a whole myriad of things. So right now, talking about the Northwest Black Comedy Festival coming up here in a little bit. I'm going to be talking about a cybersecurity team from Westview High School, or a cybersecurity club, excuse me. So it's a club of kids who are now in this national competition. They're going to explain what they do, because I cannot explain it very well. So they're going to be joining me here in just a little bit at 1:30 p.m. So you can hop right back in and watch that. And we've got all of our other segments too on YouTube, Facebook. But really, I recommend going to the website, to kptv.com. There's a Fox 12 Now tab. You can check out all the things we cover. Sometimes it's deeper dives on stories you see on the news. We'll have a reporter come in. Sometimes it's very serious breaking news. Sometimes it's all over the board. So it's one of the great things we get to do here between 1 and 4 p.m. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to sign off for right now, though. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.
That was great.
Yeah, that was good.
That's probably one of our best interviews, honestly. But